I grew up in Russia. I was an orphan, and I was abandoned at the age of 3. But that didn't stop me from being outgoing, even though a lot of things has happened. At the age of 6, I really began to look around the world and just knew that we couldn't have been evolved from apes, which my science teacher told us that we were, and I often like to look in the on top of the sun, or I mean, on the sun, and it just say, you can't be involved. There had to be a creator, and I asked, if there's a creator, show me who created this. And about 3 months later, a missionary came to our orphanage, and she told us about who created this world, and I was really shocked in a surprising way because that was the answer. And I think it says somewhere in the Bible that if people who seek to know Jesus Christ, He will show them through nature and through people too. So that was an answer to her prayer and probably mine, even though I didn't know I was praying for it. But my real salvation came is when my parents, after I was adopted, my parents told me about Jesus Christ. And at the age of 12, I was crying, and I had gone through a difficult situation because I just felt not peer pressure as much as it was like people always making fun of me because I didn't really understand the language or just being left out. And I said, okay, but then I remembered that missionary said that Lord, God is always there. And then I really thought about, yeah, Jesus is there, and He can save, even though I didn't call on Him that time. But after I went to my mom's bedroom and said, Mom, I don't want to cry anymore. I really want to know happiness. And she said, what do you mean by that? I mean, I want to know Jesus as my Savior. And so she opened to Romans 8:28. She said, and we know all things work together for good to those who love God and are called according to His purpose. And then, after I received Jesus Christ as my Lord, nothing ever was the same. I never was a self-centered person. I always seek to do God's will, whether it's through dress code or what I say and what I do. And a lot of people noticed throughout the years that I encourage others now and be uplifting, and that is a lot better than feeling sorry for yourself or being lonely. The joy of the Lord means to me is being in His will, because we could do everything in our own power and do everything out in the world, but if He's not in it all, then I have no purpose for living. That's what true joy is to me. There's a boy who, I think he messed up something, but he told us that Jesus Christ was coming from the sky, and I was jumping up and down, like, literally, He's coming up from the sky right now? What for? He said He's going to take us up with Him. I said, really? You mean we're getting out of this orphanage? And so I said, cool. So I literally neglected my chores and everything else, and I went in front of the steps and looked up in the sky all day waiting for Him. And people would come and by and say, what are you doing? I'm waiting for Jesus. And He never did came, but I know that He will come someday for me. Oh, I am glad to be called a child of God because I know how it feels not to be a child of God, because I know how it feels to be abandoned, rejected, and abused, and it never really brought me happiness. But once you're a child of God, you experience all the happiness and joy, and it really comes from the inside out. And for me, that's what it is. I believe he has given me gifts of signing, because I love disabled people. That's just my passion, and the reason is, well, there was a girl in the orphanage who I witnessed, was taking out the garbage one time in the garbage. She was taking out the garbage to the garbage can, those big things, and I think someone threw a match by accident and got flamed up, and she was burning up inside of it, and one of the cooks came out with a bucket of water and they poured it over her, but she became a quadriplegic and she never had the same appearance. She had all scars and everywhere. She never had hair anymore. And even though I was 6 at that age, I helped her out. Just simple things like brushing her hair or at least just spending time with her. And then being here right now, I love helping out at friendship class at our church. It's a disability outreach for adults, and also respite care is for children who are disabled. And I just love being the hands for the hurting ones. I love helping out like that. That's one of the gifts that he has given me, and I believe that he is calling me, or at least has convicted me of helping out with the deaf ministry, how I was broken for Christ, and that this world passes by so quickly. There's no reason for us to live for ourselves, but for Christ.